My name is Emily Grither, and I'm going to be talking about Washington, D.C. So, have you ever thought about going to D.C.? Have you ever wanted to go to D.C.? Well, even if you haven't, you've probably heard of it and the importance it has for our country. It is where the president lives, first of all, which is a really big deal, and it has a ton of monuments in it. So, my goal is to inform you about the history of the city and make you think about it differently next time you do think about it. So first of all, I want to start off with the history. It was established on July 16th, 1790, and it's the capital of the United States, so it plays a really big role in the country. It's a really big city. It has around 713,000 people. WorldPopulationReview.com said that. And President lives there. He lives in the White House, and it was constructed in 1792, so it's really old. And that came from whitehouse.gov. And it's just a really important city for the United States because the president lives there, and yeah, it's the capital of the United States, like I said. The second thing I want to talk about is the monuments in DC. There's a lot of monuments, and each of them have a really unique story behind them, and they're all very important for different reasons. There's over 160, says CBS News, and I just want to talk about a few in general. So the first one I want to talk about is the Lincoln Memorial. It was made in 1922, and it was only supposed to be 10 feet tall, but it ended up being 19 feet tall, so that's a really big difference. And it's just to honor the life of Abraham Lincoln and everything he did for America. And then the next one I want to talk about is the Washington Monument. So it was built between 1848 and 1884, and it's in memory of George Washington's military leadership and everything he did for the United States as well. And that came from nps.gov. And the last monument I want to talk about is the Vietnam Memorial. So the Vietnam Memorial is a really big wall in DC that has over 58,000 names on it of people who gave their lives for America. It's really cool, and there's actually an exact replica about 20 or 30 minutes away from here in Perryville, Missouri. And I was lucky enough to be able to go and see that the other day, so it was really cool. It was made in 1982, and I found that at thewallusa.com. And so, other things that happen in DC is events. There's a lot of events held there all the time because it's the capital and people go there to make a difference. If they don't think that something's right, they go and protest about it. So there's like really big marches that happen every year. 3 of them are the Pro-Life March, the Pride March, and the Women's Right March. So for the Pro-Life March, you're marching to end abortions and just stand up for what you believe in. The Pride March, you're standing up for rights for the LGBTQ community. And then the Women's March is just for women's rights. So Washington, D.C. is a really good place to go if you want to make a change in the world or just show what you believe in. So overall, I highly recommend going to Washington, D.C. It's a really cool city, and I just got to go there a couple weeks ago and experience it for myself, and I loved it. So there's a lot of history and meaning behind everything in the city, and it's just very important for the United States. So I hope you gain some knowledge about the city and maybe even want to travel there one day. Thank you.